Hello everyone and welcome to another video. So the theme of today's video is going to be delve. This is going to be a brief overview and basic guide for delving for all of the newer or casual players who are planning on checking delve out for the first time and they don't know what to expect. So why should you farm delve? Well, in my opinion, and not just my own, delve is the most rewarding mechanic you can do in Path of Exile. Like the sheer amount of currency you can make per hour is crazy without any investment in it. So last league I was making around 3 divines per hour, and I'm not experienced delver myself. People make even more. So, and it's also a very interesting mechanic to play, very fun to play. And as I said in my previous videos, I think the having fun is still the most important thing we can do in video games. Otherwise, what's the point, right? So, what is Delve? Well, Delve is a game mechanic in Path of Exile in which you interact with this guy here, Nico, the Master of Deaths. And once you unlock him, he is available from Act 4 and further, and you can invite him to your own, as you see, hideout. So he can take you to visit his mine encampment. Okay, let's go there right now. So from the mine encampment, you can visit the Azurite mines, which is the main delve content. So what is an Azurite mine? As you can see at the chart here or map, this is basically, if you're coming from other games, to help you understand, this is like an infinite dungeon that scales in depth. So you start from depth 0, and the deeper you go, the harder it gets, but also gets more rewarding. As you can see right here, we are around depth 300. So how does it work? Well, this chart, yeah, it's covered in darkness, as you see here. So, and this is actual dark, right? If you spend too much time in it while you are moving there, you die. So how do you explore this mine? Well, you go to one of the places you have previously unlocked. Let's go here, for example. Or if you haven't unlocked anything, if you're just starting, you're going to start from depth 0 and just go down. So this is your crawler. As you see, he has a light radius around him. This light protects you from the dark. Let's go dark. You see, more time you spend in dark, you get, you start taking damage eventually, you see, and you die. So how do you explore it? Well, you just pick your destination, click on a coral, pick on destination, go there, and you follow it. Yeah, you stay around the light so you don't take much damage. So one of the reasons you should want to stray in the dark and go in the dark is, well, you find fractured walls in it. Eventually you see one, and behind those walls you can get rewards, and I will talk about them later. So you can see we picked our destination. Once you arrive at the destination, you basically start your event. In here we are farming Azurite. So basically you get some monsters or bosses, stuff like that. You finish your encounter, and then your car is available again for you to go to another location, and that's how you explore. You go further down. Just finish the fight very fast. See, okay, we finished the fight, we got our Azurite, and that's it. It's gone. So we showed you an example of farming Azurite, so what else can you do? Well, what is some delve specific content you can get? Well, we just showed you Azurite, and you use that Azurite to interact with Nico again and purchase items from it. You purchase resonators from him. So what are these guys? Well, these are used for crafting. As you can see, we have some of them here. So how do you use them? You buy resonators from Nico. Also, they can drop in delve while you're delving, and you connect them with these guys here, fossils. So fossils are the main reason anyone farms delves, because of these guys, the fossils. So what do? Well, they are basically modifiers for your resonators, and you use them to craft items. So let's see an example. We have a jagged fossil here. As you can see, it blocks chaos modifiers we would get on an item and gives us more physical ones. So you connect it with your resonator and use it on an item. Let's use it on this X here. So you get X with physical modifiers. You see, we actually got the good one with attack speed, leech, and chance to deal double damage. So there's tons of different fossils you can get, but this is a theme for another video. So basically, these fossils are currency used for crafting. So how do you actually make currency? Well, basically, this is how you make currency. The biggest chunk of it, you go to the mine, you farm your azurite, you go to Nico, you buy 100 of these and sell them for 200, 300 chaos orbs. This is how I was able to make 3 divines per hour. So let's talk about some more Delve specific content you can get. Well, actually, let's start with non-specific. So basically, in Delve, you can get all the content you can get from maps, except the pinnacle bosses content, like fragments or shaper maps or guardian maps, serious maps. Everything else you can get. You can get essences, you can get, as you see here, breaches, you can get gems, as you can see here. You can get harbinger. So basically, all the content you have there. And yeah, basically that's it. So let's talk about the chart itself. As you can see, it contains different colors, right? And these colors represent different kinds of biomes. So these are called biomes. See, blue one is frozen hollow, red one is magma fissure, and so basically it's not really important. There's five or six different ones. So what do these give you? Well, these predetermine what type of content and currency you can get. And currency, I mean fossils. So different biomes give you different kinds of fossils. You can see a cheat sheet online. And okay, so let's talk about specific Delve content, except from fossils and resonators, which we already covered. You can get stuff like this. Let me find in a second. Let me find real fast. I definitely hit up. Yeah, okay. So you can get stuff like this. See, contains chaos items. Or like here, contains cold items. Let's find some more. Or stuff like this, contains minion items. So what do these give you? These can drop only in Delve, and for example, minion items, what you can get here is you can get chest armor or body armor with plus to the number of maximum specters, like +1 to the maximum specters. And as we know, the specters got buffed this league, so these kind of chests, even in previous leagues, were very, very expensive. That was one example. Or let's go back to our so-called items, or like here contains chaos items. So this can also give you like contains lightning items or fire items or physical items. So what do these nodes give you? Well, basically these can drop jewelry with curse on hit. And what I mean by that? Well, if your farming like contains physical items node, you can get a ring that has affix on it that says curse enemies with vulnerability on hit. Or if you're using lightning, farming lightning, you get curse enemies with conductivity on hit. And a well-rolled jewelry like this can sell for over 10 divines each. So what else can we get specifically in Delves? Well, you see these shapes here, like squares over our map. These represent cities. So we have 3 cities in Delve. We have, as you can see here, Abyssal City, we have Val Outpost, and I don't see one currently, but if you get one of the cities inside the blue, Frozen Hollow, right? That's a Frozen Hollow city, right? Abyssal City. Frozen City. So what can you get in these cities? Well, you get stuff like this. You get chambers, and they can drop you tons of maps or just regular currency like, I don't know, offerings for the goddess, chromatic orbs, jewelers orbs, you name it. But they also contain boss encounters. So what bosses do we get in Delve? Well, at the moment we have 3 bosses in Delve. Abyssal City contains Lich, Val Outpost contain Val Architect, and blue ones contain Owl the Lich King, Owl the Crystal King. Those are 3 bosses. So Crystal King, Val Architect, and Lich. So what do these bosses give you? So all the bosses in Delve give you these things. I will show you in a second. They can drop these kind of rings, like blue, red, and green. So green represent rings with frenzy charge modifiers, red represent with rings with endurance charge modifiers, and blue represent power charges. So these are connected to charges, blue, red, and green. So if you combine these three and sell them to a vendor, you get precursor emblem ring in return. And those rings are extremely expensive and really powerful, so you can sell them and use them yourself. So you can, if you sell, for example, one blue, one red, one green, you get a ring with all three type of charges affixes on it, right? But if you sell like 3 blue, you get ring with only power charge modifiers on it. If you sell only red, you get only endurance, and you get the idea. And what else do you get from these bosses? Well, at the moment, the only boss I wouldn't recommend you farming is, well, in Abyssal Cities Lich, because except these rings, which are not very common, he doesn't drop anything else worth your time there. But Val Architect drops you Val aspects, which you can use in Sanctums. Those sell for Divine Age, and you can drop Imaginarium map, which is a very unique map that also serves for over Divine, and it's required for you to get your Atlas achievements. And last but not least, let's talk about Owl the Crystal King. So I'm gonna try and find city. I definitely had it open. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So why is the Owl so important? Well, he is the most rewarding boss you can get, in my opinion, in Path of Exile. And why is it so? Because he is the boss that drops these guys. Owl's Uprising. This is a unique amulet that gives you free aura. So in this example we have, as you see, Purity of Fire. He has no reservation, but you can also get stuff like hatred, anger, determination, pride, wrath, and stuff like that. So if you get one of the more one of the auras that people are using a lot, then you can sell these guys. Well, at the beginnings of leagues, I saw like determination amulets go for over 100 divines. I saw haste amulets go for over 200 divines. So you can sell them for crazy currency, or you can use them yourself, because, well, they are very build enabling, which you get half of your mana unreserved back, right? And as we know from few previous patches, we keep getting nerfed on our mana reservation, so this is kind of a big deal. And why do I say this is the most rewarding boss in Path of Exile? Because these have a very high drop rate, like 50% or more. And on the other example, you can farm Eater of Worlds 100 times and you wouldn't get Nimis or Ashes of Star once. But if you do 10 of Crystal Kings, you get minimum 5 of these, from my experience, even more. Yeah, so basically that's it for bosses. So what kind of builds can you play in Delve, or should you play in Delve? Well, the thing that actually, why do more people don't play Delve? So because it's infamous for, well, the deeper you go, it gets harder and harder and harder, and over depth 300 you get modifiers like monsters penetrate your elemental resistances and stuff like that, so it's very dangerous. You need really tanky builds. But as I said previously, you can take a regular build and just farm levels 100 from my experience, right? And you will make ton of currency even on those depths. But if you're gonna go deeper, you should play a tanky build, like maybe any armor based build with a lot of block chance or spell suppression. If you want to see what builds are people using, well, you can go to POE Ninja and just select builds and then go swap the experience for depth in the drop down menu, and you see what deep delvers are playing. Some of the popular builds are like this one here, Bone Shadow Juggernaut, or like Molten Strike Chieftains, or some champions will builds with ton of evasion, armor, and fortify and stuff like that. So from my experience, evasion based builds tend to suffer in Delve the over 100 depth you go, because you get enemies with bonus accuracy and like you die a lot. So you should play something tanky. So let's talk about some pros and cons. So the only con I can think about at the moment is, well, you don't get the pinnacle bosses stuff like fragments and maps. But on the other hand, you get so much currency while playing Delve that you can easily buy all your maps, even at the beginnings of the leagues. You can just farm 1 hour of Delve and basically buy all the pinnacle bosses maps you're gonna want. So that's the only con I can think about. Maybe other one could be that you don't enjoy the playstyle. You don't enjoy spending time in Delve. Then you should basically play something else. And pros are, well, you get very unique items and currency, and you get tons of currency for you to like make your own build, or you can basically use the resonators and faucets yourself to craft your own gear, which is really good and easy. Uh, so that's it about the pros and cons, and I would like to show you one more thing. So inside our mining encampment, there's the voltaic generator. So what is this? This modifies your time spent inside the delve. So as you can see, for example, light radius and darkness resistance. We talked previously about darkness. So this gives you darkness resistance. You shouldn't overly invest here because the deeper you go, so you see, we are depth 298. But if I go to 350, this goes back to 20. So it's constantly going back. So basically you should buy enough for you to be over 0, and that's enough for you. And light radius, that's the radius of light you get around your car, right, that you follow. Also, you shouldn't invest overly into this. Well, sulfite capacity, on the other hand, is useful, so you can spend more time in Delve, farm more sulfite, and in the end you can buy more stuff from Nico. Like you can buy 100 of these, like after one session of Delve, even more. And what else do you get? You get the maximum amount of your flares and dynamites, which I showed you previously, and you can craft them here. They also drop in Delve. So this is basically, that's it for the toxic generator. So if you want advice from me, you should just farm Azerite, buy primitive chaotic resonators from Nico, and just sell them on the trade website. You're gonna make crazy amounts of currency. So guys, basically that was it for this video. If this video helped you in any kind, shape or form, consider leaving a like, and if you didn't, then don't. Anyway, I wish you best of luck and goodbye.